In Formula One, what happens behind closed doors often shapes careers far more than what takes place on the track. Negotiations, politics, and the battle for influence inside a team can dictate the destiny of even the most talented drivers. That is exactly the situation George Russell finds himself in right now. The British driver, once seen as the natural heir to Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, is caught in an increasingly tense standoff with team principal Toto Wolff over the renewal of his contract. What could have been a straightforward extension has escalated into a tug-of-war, a silent duel full of ego, ambition, and diverging visions for the future of the Silver Arrows. George Russell knows his worth. Since joining Mercedes, he has shown flashes of brilliance that proved he is far more than just a promising youngster. From hard-earned podiums to races where he managed to outpace even Hamilton, Russell has carved a space for himself among the elite. He is consistent, relentless, and hungry. For Russell, the days of being seen as the future are over. He wants to be the present. That mindset is what fuels his demands at the negotiation table, demands that Toto Wolff has so far been reluctant to meet. That Russell's main point of contention lies in recognition. He wants a long-term deal, one that not only secures his place within the team, but also makes it clear that he is the centerpiece of Mercedes' strategy going forward. He looks at his peers, Lando Norris tied down with a long McLaren contract, Charles Leclerc locked in as Ferrari's pillar, and believes he deserves the same treatment. He is not asking to be an option. He wants to be the option. But Wolff sees things differently. Known for his cold pragmatism and strategic patience, the Austrian boss is cautious about committing too heavily in such an uncertain era. Mercedes is still searching for its lost dominance, with regulatory changes looming and rivals like Red Bull and McLaren constantly raising the bar. To Toto, flexibility is a vital asset. Long-term, multi-million-dollar commitments can easily turn into burdens if a driver fails to deliver championships. In his view, Russell is talented but has not yet proven beyond doubt that he can carry Mercedes on his shoulders as Hamilton once did. This difference in perspective has led to tense exchanges. Insiders describe negotiation meetings as sharp, even confrontational at times. Russell pushes for guarantees, for the status of undisputed leader, while Wolff counters with caution, preferring shorter contracts and leaving the door open for other options. It's a battle of wills, and the stakes are enormous. Adding even more pressure to the situation is the fact that other teams are watching closely. Rumors suggest Ferrari is monitoring developments, aware that Russell could be an attractive option should questions arise over Carlos Sainz's or even Leclerc's long-term fit. McLaren, although seemingly settled with Norris and Piastri, would hardly ignore the chance to secure a driver of Russell's caliber. And then there's Red Bull, a team whose future could be shaken if Max Verstappen ever chooses to explore opportunities elsewhere. The very possibility of these scenarios strengthens Russell's hand. He knows he has suitors and is not afraid to let Mercedes feel the pressure of potentially losing him. Toto Wolff, however, is not new to these power games. He has managed Hamilton through championship rivalries, kept fragile internal balances when Nico Rosberg and Hamilton clashed, and always emerged with Mercedes intact. For him, this is not just about George Russell's demands. It is about the integrity of the entire team. If Wolff concedes too much, he risks setting a precedent that could destabilize the hierarchy and strategy of Mercedes. For him, control and discipline are non-negotiable pillars. The atmosphere inside the team reflects this divide. Some members firmly believe Russell deserves the keys to the Mercedes project, especially now that Hamilton's departure has left a symbolic void. Others side with Wolff's caution, arguing that the Briton must first prove he can convert potential into titles before being handed a contract that ties the team's future to his shoulders. This internal split makes the situation even more complex, blurring the line between sporting ambition and organizational prudence. Even in public, the friction has become noticeable. Russell, in interviews, has hinted at his desire for more commitment from the team, carefully chosen words that still reveal his dissatisfaction. Wolff, for his part, maintains a diplomatic stance, speaking about trust and mutual understanding, but never going as far as confirming Russell's place as the centerpiece. Every phrase becomes part of the psychological game, a way to pressure the other side without showing weakness. What emerges is more than just a contract negotiation. It is a struggle for power. Russell wants to step into the role Hamilton once occupied, to become the face of Mercedes and the man around whom everything revolves. Wolff wants to keep control, to remind everyone that no individual is bigger than the team. It is a battle of generations, of visions, of leadership styles colliding in the spotlight of Formula One's most scrutinized garage. The outcome remains uncertain. If Russell stays and gets the recognition he demands, Mercedes secures a long-term leader, but at the cost of bending to a driver's influence in a way Wolff has always resisted. If he leaves, it could trigger a domino effect in the driver market, shaking up rival teams and leaving Mercedes scrambling for a replacement capable of filling such a critical role. In both scenarios, the repercussions extend far beyond Brackley, shaping the competitive landscape of the sport itself. For Russell, the message is clear. He is no longer content to be the apprentice waiting for his chance. For Wolff, the principle is equally clear. Mercedes' future cannot be dictated by a single individual's ambition. Somewhere between these two immovable stances, an agreement must be found, or a dramatic rupture will unfold. And so, Formula One once again proves that the fiercest battles are not always fought at 300 kilometers per hour. Sometimes, they are fought in boardrooms, in private conversations, in the silence of negotiation tables. The Russell-Wolff standoff is one of those battles. Silent, subtle, but carrying consequences that could reshape the destiny of a legendary team.